And we're rolling. I want my Fit Aid like right now. You ready?
Yes.
All right, Fit Aid on 3. 1, 2, 3. There ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Hey guys, welcome to the Pinecast, episode 7. You sure? 7 or 8. 7 or 8. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today. First, you guys that are watching this now, just to get you the schedule, we want you to know. Who are you? I'm with Peter Sanger here.
Peter Sanger.
Wearing his new hoodie. You got flex on one time. Let him see.
There's a secret about it.
Give him that left bicep. Look at that hex bomb, baby.
And there's a secret inside.
There's a secret inside. That's true. So he's wearing his new hoodie. He's with me. We're going to be talking about something cool today. If you're watching this and it's Wednesday, then you need to know tomorrow we actually have a workout tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. we have the Thanksgiving WOD. Bring family, bring people that came into town and want to try this crazy thing. Bring a neighbor, a friend, a coworker, somebody who's interested in trying it. It's just going to be a really fun workout.
It's called stuffing.
It's called stuffing, and we're going to sweat and enjoy each other's company, take a big pic, and then I'll go home because we had a lot of cooking to do. So
Eating to do.
Well, I have a lot of eating to do. I've got family cooking right now.
I got a turkey going in the smoker. My wife's taking care of the rest, and guests are bringing sides.
So Thursday at 8, Friday at 8 and 12 only, 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. only, and then Saturday normal schedule. And beyond that, December 1st is Hunger Games. We're going to Optimize. We got a couple athletes throwing down there. December 9th is Integrity's Revenge. December 15th is the Hot Cocoa 5K. We have 28 people that are running the Hot Cocoa 5K. I've been doing a little training myself. Slowly but surely, getting my 5K down, 16 minutes.
Team Blue might be pacing it. We'll see.
Team Ice will probably not be able to hang with Team Fire, and Team Ice just needs to be fine with, staring at my butt the whole workout. So, yeah. And then the December 22nd is the Christmas Luau for the family, the greatest experience you'll have all holiday season. Want to make sure you're here at the box. Inflatables, drinks, tiki toss, limbo. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh,
I've already applied the sunscreen to the pig.
Good. The pig will not be sunburnt, but he will be delicious. And there will be an apple in his mouth. So the after party starts at 8 p.m. The party starts at 6. Bring the family. The after party starts at 8 p.m. So, if you want to get a sitter, go with it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the last thing, I definitely want to put this on your radar. January 1st, we're going to do a brunch and WOD. So it's at 10. So sleep in from all of your shenanigans.
It generally means mimosas.
Somebody needs to bring mimosas. Somebody needs to bring those little Hawaiian bun with the ham. Cece needs to bring the Hawaiian bun with the ham and cheese and the mustard and the syrup on top. Somebody bring some breakfast casserole and we're good to go. So, Peter, let me ask you a question. If you had to choose between, I want to improve your fitness in one way, right? You can get stronger. 1 rep max back squat can go up 50 pounds. You can get more conditioned. Increase your mile time. You can develop your gymnastics to a greater level of proficiency, right? Knocking out muscle ups and handstand push-ups. Or you can drastically increase your recovery time. Which of those 4 would you choose?
My mile time.
Mile time faster?
Yeah.
It's so boring. It's your thing.
Yeah.
No, judgment free. I'm sorry, that was very.
But I used to have to walk a mile, so.
All right. What would you say if I told you that the greatest difference between you and Katrin Davidsdotter is not that she has boobs and you don't. It's not that
we can call
she's made it to the games more times than you. It is, and it's not that she's from another country, right? It is the distance between the amount of time it takes for you to recover from a period of difficulty and what Katrin has, the time that it requires her to recover from a period of difficulty. That is probably the greatest distance between you and her. And, where it may take her 2 minutes to recover from something, it probably takes us, like 2 days to recover from the same thing. today we're going to talk about recovery. And you guys, hopefully by the end of this, are going to understand why it is absolutely crucial. And so Peter and I looked it up, the definition of recovery. You remember what it was?
The active process of returning from to a normal state from a period of difficulty.
Nailed it. Thank you, Webster. Peter Webster Sanger is what we call him around here. And he's exactly right. That's recovery. The active process of returning to a normal state after a period of difficulty. So think about this in the context of your life, right? Many of us have had to recover from tragedy. Many of us have had to recover from losing a job, recover from losing a loved one, recovery. And in context today, we are talking about fitness, but in the context of recovery, our ability to be able to return to a normal state after a period of difficulty is very important in life as well. So
adapt or die, right?
Yeah, that's right. So today we're going to talk about training specifically. So think about this in context of training. You may have never thought about this, but when you train, you actually leave the gym weaker than you showed up. You have torn your muscles down. You have worked your body at an extreme level. You've gone through a period of difficulty, and when you leave the gym, you're leaving weaker than you came. And the hope is not, let's just go ahead and be clear here, especially with CrossFit, the hope is not just to return to a normal state. Our hope is that we actually experience something called supercompensation, right? Let's say we start where my chin is, and we drop down to where my shoulder is in the course of a workout. Ultimately, the way that we recover is going to return us. I don't want to come back to my chin. I want to actually make it all the way to my lips, right?
Is that 1% more?
1% better every day. That's our mantra. And so maybe I want super compensation. I want what I'm doing in this gym, not just to be able to recover from what I'm doing, but for it to actually make me better. And so that's recovery, and that's why recovery is so important, that we do it properly. What we're going to do is spend the next 4 or 5 minutes basically unpacking how we can do that well. How do we recover well in the context of fitness? So Peter worked out this morning at 8 a.m., crushed the workout. What did you consume post-workout? Let's go like 2 hours out. Like, so immediately all the way to 2 hours out, what did you eat?
An extreme double chocolate protein shake that you buy at one of your big box stores, and 2 scoops of that.
Sounds good. Was that like more protein?
It was all protein.
All protein. Okay.
Like
Interesting.
35 grams of protein or something
Cool.
like that. And then I had a physical therapist appointment. When I got back from that, it was a giant plate of cooked down cabbage, turkey kielbasa, and 8 little pierogies.
Wow. I don't know what a pierogi is.
It's a Polish stuffed dough thing.
That sounds amazing. So it's perfect that he said protein, because I know a lot of us, and I'm not making friends here, but a lot of the research lately is basically, it's almost the other end of the extreme when you look at like 1970s, 1980s bodybuilding and Gold's Gym, what happened, and most of us believe the best thing we can put in our body post-workout is a big old scoop of protein, maybe 2 scoops of protein, because we need the protein to help build our muscles, right? Well, in the context of recovery, and you may see the shelves at CrossFit Sacred Pine looking a little different here in the next season, because we're just learning this. In the context of recovery, one of the best things you can take in is actually a carb supplement, some sort of simple, easy to digest carbohydrate, because the way we train brings about a metabolic spike in our bodies that ultimately does 2 things, right? Whatever we put into our body, it speeds up the process of metabolizing digesting what we put in our body. But at the same time, our body is completely depleted of energy. And so what do we need in order to initiate and expedite the recovery process is we need that energy back in our body, that energy that drives digestion, the energy that drives neural function, and the energy that drives the rest of the things that we have to do in the course of our day. Nutrition is going to matter a whole lot post-workout, but the research is suggesting now what you need is actually carbohydrates.
So like a regular Gatorade as opposed to a sugar-free Gatorade.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I might even go so far as to say a little bit of sugar after your workout may actually do some good for your recovery process. So you look at some of the premier gyms right now doing CrossFit, A lot of them are making the big switch. That protein is still very important, but post-workout, the most important thing you can put in your body is carbohydrates. What does your body do? It takes it in, it puts it into the blood, it sends it to the muscles, and your body actually turns it into what's called glycogen, which is one of your primary energy sources right after your workout. So nutrition matters when it comes to recovery. That's our one tip we want to give to you when it comes to recovery. But in other aspects of the pillars of purpose-driven fitness, it matters as well. Let's talk about rest. How many hours of sleep did you get last night, Peter?
Maybe 3.5.
Got to do it better. Got to figure out how to do better. I know it's
the shoulder.
I know Peter texted me this morning at 5 a.m. saying my shoulder's killing me, and that's just sometimes that's training, and sometimes that's.
So another part of that recovery, luckily I have a jacuzzi, and I went in the jacuzzi early. I just sat in there for 40 minutes.
That sounds awesome. Actually, that sounds really awesome. When we talked about rest 2 weeks ago, we actually mentioned something that the measurable for quality of sleep is, and we called it random eye movement. I'm telling on us right now, it's rapid eye movement. We know, people, we know it's rapid eye movement. But
we didn't.
Going back to some of the latest research, we didn't know. we know now. The latest research is suggesting that that's not the greatest measurable for how much sleep, how much quality sleep you're getting. The actual measurable for how much sleep you're getting is something called HGH. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. The banned substance.
Human growth hormone.
Human growth hormone. Your body produces in 2 points of your day if you're a CrossFitter. Number 1 point in your day where it's produced right after a killer workout. Your body naturally produces HGH. Really cool. The second place it produces it is in the deepest point of your sleep. And when you're in that deep sleep, your body is constantly producing it and releasing it into the body, which is an incredible expediter of recovery. Incredible. You don't have to buy it from that sketchy guy down the street. You just get a few more hours of sleep, can go a long way. So when it comes to rest, yes, hours of sleep are important, but quality of sleep is going to be ultimately one of the best things you can do to help expedite recovery, because you want to get back in the gym the next day, right?
I mean, you want to maximize performance without personal sacrifice.
Well said.
I saw
Well said.
a little study. It wasn't a study. It was an article talking about an 80-20 rule: 80% nutrition and exercise, 20% downtime, free time. I went to Asheville this weekend and definitely was adhering to that 20% rule, drinking liquid chocolate, drinking flights of gravy. So maybe 85-15, maybe better at Monica, but I never thought about dropping into a CrossFit box. But I did.
Interesting.
But I did climb Chimney Rock.
Right on. Yeah. So in the context, and I'd love to go ahead and jump into mindset, because what he's talking about right now is something you've got to fix up here. A lot of us, we leave the gym, we just worked really hard, we stressed our bodies, and then we go right into an extremely stressful environment. And then maybe at home, things are stressful. And maybe, when you're trying to go to sleep at night, there's something on your brain, something on your mind, and if you don't know this, stress actually expands the amount of time needed for recovery. And so if you can find a way to, when it comes to your work environment, make it as stress-free as possible, right? Little things when it comes to your mindset, maybe something that can help you is just a gratitude walk. That's something, I've been encouraged to do almost my entire adult life. Just go outside, and maybe you just need to get outside.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to get out and as we talked about rest 2 weeks ago.
Get out of inertia, let the blood flow a little bit.
Get out of the normal sea of your life, and go experience something new. In January, we are actually looking to bring yoga to CrossFit Sacred Pine. Maybe some of us can start stepping into some yoga classes just to do something different, but also because of the physical peace that it brings. So, and when it comes to the home, right? We to some extent we all have to take ownership of the condition of our homes, and so if we can go out of our way to for the sake of fitness, but also for the sake of the strength of relationships in our home, to actually have the conversation of, hey, this needs to be a stress-free environment. And it's not just going to help you with fitness, it's going to help you with everything in life. But have the conversation with somebody if you need to. And before you go to bed, cut off the stimulation, cut off the screens, cut off the TV, cut off the news. Some of us get caught up in what's going on in the world, and it stresses us out, and that stress is slowing down the recovery process. So when it comes to mindset, those are things you have to be very intentional with. They're not natural at all.
Recovery is not
they
just
matter.
it's not necessarily structural. It's definitely chemical, hormonal, and societal, social, psychological.
Yeah. How about we were talking about this earlier? Professional body work.
I've utilized deep tissue massage therapy for quite a long time. I used to go 2 or 3 times a month. I know it can get cost prohibitive at times, but definitely if you got it, use it in the arsenal.
If it's in your budget, it's an incredible tool in your kit when it comes to recovery. Not just deep tissue massage or going to see a sports massage therapist, but also, maybe it's identifying a local chiropractor who kind of knows their way around fitness and knows their way around, even if they can have embrace CrossFit and the stress that it puts on your body, so they've got a little bit more knowledge about how to help you. Having a chiropractor that you visit on a regular basis can be a great. We know a chiropractor, don't we?
We're pretty lucky.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky.
Be a coach.
Y'all don't know Dominique Cacciatore and the Joint Chiropractic. An incredible woman, and also an incredible place for you to go. And in fact, they're not just our sponsor for this episode because we decided they would be. They're actually going to be giving away for the Holiday Hustle 2.0 this week. They're going to be giving away 6 free visits, 6 free adjustments. So whoever, incentive to show up 3 times this week and check in.
If you don't win, go anyway. $29 for your first visit.
Yeah, you
can't beat it.
You really can't. You really can't beat that. So they'll work with anybody, and Dominique is Diesel. So
and you get a lollipop.
So professional bodywork's another good thing. We wanted to sort of expound 2 myths. I want to, and again, I want to help you guys. I'm not, some of you guys, you're bent on these 2 things, and I just want to caution you and also encourage you that there's other ways around it. So the first thing is when it comes to icing, right? A lot of us try to ice for recovery. Research has shown, in fact, I heard this recently, the guy that actually came up with rest, ice, compression, elevation, RICE, the guy that came up with RICE recently has been seen to have said that if he could go back, he would have taken ice out of the recovery equation, because all ice does 2 things. It brings down the body temperature. So if you're heat exhaustion, right, and you need to cool down quick, jump in an ice bath, but don't think it's going to actually speed up the recovery process. What it can actually do is slow down the recovery process. So it also helps to numb pain, right? Some of us who deal with pain, your body naturally wants to help you deal with pain, and when you resort to things like ice, it can actually teach your body not to respond to pain in the same way. You're teaching your body not to do what it's built to do. So ice is what I would say is, unless you're trying to regulate your body temperature because you're on fire.
Might be getting some letters on this one.
If you're hurting, and listen, I know a lot of our athletic trainers that we have here, and a lot of the folks that we work with, they resort to ice for pain, and it's an incredible tool when it comes to pain. But every single day going to ice thinking it's helping you recover, that's a myth. It's not true. The second thing is, and maybe even more of our people resort to this, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen. It's the exact same thing as ice. It masks the pain, but it actually delays the recovery process. So for all of our athletes out there, if you're watching and you're consistently popping the ibuprofen after your workouts,
I've been doing 12 a day.
You might not be feeling the pain that you would have felt, but your body, when we talk about, again, what do we want? We're leaving the gym weaker than when we came in. We do what we need to do for recovery so that we can experience super compensation. We don't want to get back to a normal state. We want to get 1% better every single day. So you have to really pay attention to anything that you're doing right now that would slow down the recovery process, especially if you're trying to put in the amount of work required for adaptation to change your body for what you want it to become. So that's really all I want to say about recovery. Peter, any final thoughts?
One last thought. Utilize your post-workout time while you're talking, get in your group circle and stretch.
It's great.
You have to stretch.
Oh my gosh.
I underutilize all my little tools I got at home, my foam roller, my little blue peanut thing. I got all these little toys. My K-bands. I don't use them enough.
It's so great. I'm glad you said that because there's a great debate about stretching too, about whether or not that speeds up recovery. What we do know is we talked about professional body work earlier. Things like self-myofascial release, where you'll dig in with a little cross ball or a T-ball we use at the box, or one of our rumble rollers that have the deep tissue nipples on the roller. Those things that are breaking through those adhesions is an incredible, because what it does is, in a sense, you're rupturing blood vessels, but you're also moving more blood and more nutrients to those targets. So what could you do? Buy a rumble roller, and maybe while you're watching a show 2 or 3 times a week at night, sit on a rumble roller for about 30 minutes and work your legs, work your quads, work your back, and see if that makes a huge difference for you. I bet it will.
Netflix and stretch.
Netflix and stretch. That's what we say. Netflix and stretch. You guys have questions about recovery, hit us up below. If you're listening, thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you guys so much for watching the YouTube videos. We appreciate it. We would love to see you guys like this if you feel like it added value to you. If
subscribe to it, let it come into your inbox automatically.
Yeah, some of you guys are searching for this every single week, and it could be coming to you automatically. So do yourself a favor, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button, comment below if you have questions. We are watching, and we do want to keep a conversation going with you guys throughout the week. Next week, we're talking about mindset next week. And I think we're going to be bringing some thoughts your way that are going to blow your mind. So get ready. Appreciate you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Namaste.
See you in the box. That's not namaste.
That's Hindu.
That's namaste. Is that walk like an Egyptian?
The Bangles.
The Bangles? Don't grab yourself. Come on.